Welcome to lesson 7.2, multiplying a fraction by a whole number using models. And we have two problems for you, 9/10 times 5 and 3 times 3/4. And you'll notice in this one, the fraction's first, 9/10 times 5. And in this one, the whole number's first, 3 times 3/4. Now, keep that in mind because that is going to come into play depending on which model that we use. First one we're going to concentrate on is when the fraction is first. We're going to use what I like to call the bar model. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to think, okay, 9/10 times 5. I have 5 whole numbers here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 5 bars representing each whole. So 5 bars, 5 whole numbers. All right, so here are my 5 bars, and I'm going to put a 1 inside each bar, representing that those are, each one is one whole, so there are 5 holes there. Now, I look at my denominator, and I say, okay, I need to make those 5 bars into 10 pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another box underneath it and make sure that there are 10 pieces. You'll see that in just a second. So I drew this big bar, and I'm going to say, okay, well, if I continue these lines here, I have 5 pieces, and if I put a line in between each one, I have 10 pieces. So there are my 10 pieces that I'm looking for. 10 pieces right here. So I look back at the first whole number here, and I say, what 2 pieces would fit in that hole? Well, it would be 1/2 for each one. And I look at my second hole and I say, well, same thing, 1/2. And I'm going to go ahead and do that for every single whole number. I still have my 10 pieces, I still have my 5 holes, but now they're in 10 pieces, and that's what I'm looking for. Now, why are they 1/2? Well, because there's 10 pieces, 10 boxes. Underneath a hole, there are 2 here, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now here's where the numerator comes in handy. I am looking for what is in 9 of those 10 pieces. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm going to go ahead and circle those 9 pieces. I have 9 pieces out of 10. And I ask myself, well, what is that? There are 9 1/2 pieces. So that means my answer is 9/2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But then I say, well, I can't have an improper fraction. I know 2 is a whole, 2 more is a second whole, 3, 4, and 1/2. So my final answer is 4 and 1/2. 9/10 times 5 equals 9/2 or 4 and 1/2. Now let's go ahead and do it where we have the whole number first. Here we have it where it is 3 times 3/4. So because I have my 3 first, I'm going to use circles. And I'm going to draw 3, hopefully, equal-sized circles. There are my 3 whole numbers. 3 circles. And I'm going to divide them, each circle, into fourths. And I look back at my numerator and I say, well, what if I put 3/4, if I shaded 3/4 in each circle? Let's see how that looks. Okay, so I have my 3 holes and I shaded 3/4 into each circle. So what's my answer? I count up all the shadings. I have 3/4, 4, 5, 6/4, 7, 8, 9/4. There are 9/4 that are shaded. So I have 9/4. Now, how do we turn that into a mixed number? I like to say the numerator falls into the house, and we're going to divide that by the divisor. So it is 9 divided by 4. We know we can do that 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. and we have one remainder. So we're going to take the remainder and put it over our divisor. There's our remainder, goes up on top as the numerator. There's our divisor, so that becomes the denominator. So if we were to add all of those shadings together, we would find out that we can have 2 whole circles and 1/4 left over. So 2 1/4 is my final answer. 9/4 is the same as 2 1/4. I hope that helps. Have a great night.